Hello. So happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're all doing well. So here's what I prepared for you. It's really tough being single on Valentine's Day because every couple you see, every happy person is just a reminder of how lonely you are. Yes, I just say things that clear. Or if you have a significant other, you see someone else with their significant other, but if you're long distance and you're not in person with them, it's just a reminder that you're not in person with that person that you love, that you want to be with so badly. And it can seem like, oh, this is so terrible and so awful, but I want to explain something so that you can understand the context of what's really going on, so that I can reframe your current circumstances so that you can see it clearer. So what is heaven, in a manner of speaking, and what is hell? Hell is an eternal separation from God. And what is heaven then, by extension? Heaven rather, is an eternal connection with God. When you are in hell, the worst part is not the flames, and it's not the pain. The worst part is God isn't there, and He never will ever be there. And there will be a time when it ceases to exist. And that's scary. But with heaven, it's an eternal connection with God. So really, if you're lonely and you don't have another person there, or you're lonely because your significant other is not with you in person, it's because you are feeling a form of hell. It's because you don't have that connection with that person that you want to be with. But you say, oh, well, God never experienced hell. Yes, He did. Jesus went to hell for you and me. Also, God experienced before He created anything what hell was, and that was an existence without you in it. That's the hard part. That's the thing of it, is God didn't want to live without you. And Satan didn't want to live with you. So, what am I saying? You can feel lonely because you're not connected with someone already. And that's what you're really starving for and wanting if you're lonely, is connection. You see all these people around wanting connection. And everything else in your life, you want to feel good or whatever else, you can get that, whatever you're wanting immediately. But with loneliness, you can't just change it and fix it, and that really hurts. But what I want to do is reframe it in your mind from that to, if you didn't know what sin was, you wouldn't know what God was. If you didn't know what loneliness was, you wouldn't know what the right person was. Sister Isabel and Brother Paul, they really like each other a lot, and they're not in person for Valentine's Day, but they can send gifts to each other and be there for each other. And there's a separation there, but actually what it will cause is, when you're really trying to find out whether or not you're really supposed to be with someone, you experience what life is without them. That's why Brother Branham said, if you can't live without her, then marry her. You're experiencing what life is like, and then when people break up, they have conflicts, they have this, they have that, they have tests of seeing, will anything cause us to not want to be with each other anymore? And so in your life, if you're not already with someone and you say, well, I'm not connected to them, I don't have someone else in my life, and I feel so alone, and that feeling really hurts. Let's just acknowledge it. Do I have the podcast and the platform preaching at nursing homes and worship leading and talking to people to depression and suicide and all the things that I have? Yeah. But one of the hardest parts of it is when I get home, and I love my family and everyone's there for me, and I'm not married. And there's a little feeling that I'm by myself. And it really hurts. And it can cause me to cry just talking about it. But if I can instead look at it differently and think, if I didn't know the depths of loneliness, I wouldn't be able to understand the peaks of joy and connection. So the worse it is, the worse it feels, is so that you and I can understand and value connection when it's there. And also, another part of it is that you're already connected with your significant other, and you can be. Everything you do in life now, every decision you make connects you with them, because it builds the part of who you are for when you see them. What do I do in my life? I do this podcast, I do the nursing home and preaching and worship leading and all the other things that I do. I also make videos for my future kids and wife. I haven't even met them yet, because I'm holding myself accountable to them, and I'm connected to them through those videos before I even meet them. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I love you guys, and the long and short of it is, yes, if you're lonely on Valentine's Day, it's a good thing. The feeling is a good feeling. It's not a bad feeling, because all things work together for the good of those that love God, and to those that are the called according to his purpose. What's the enemy meant for evil, God turns it for good. And so, yeah, it feels hard, it feels terrible, it's supposed to, so that you and I, when we have the right thing, because of all of the heartbreak, all the betrayal, all the lying and the manipulation and abuse, once we went through all that, when you meet the love of your life and you build that relationship, and even if you have to be separated from them for an hour or two, it'll feel like hell, because it is. You're separated from them, but it'll make heaven that much sweeter. So if you're lonely and it's Valentine's Day, good, because then you're understanding more and more, and you're building up to make your life even more joyous. You're more amazing and incredible. And if you want to feel connected to someone, make videos for your future kids and wife or husband or whatever, and be there for others. We feel lonely because we're focusing on our own needs, but it's not even that. You could be lonely because you're like, I want someone to care for me. It's that you want someone to care for you, or you want someone that you can care for, and they'll by the nature of God also will want someone that they can care for as well, and that'll be the nice connection. But until then, you care for yourself, you care for others, and I hope that something I've said has helped. So just know, the feeling, it hurts, you'll cry. I just cried earlier, but it's a good thing, because the more I understand the hurt, the greater the joy will be. Without sin, we would not value Jesus Christ as much as we do. Without the absence of God, we would not value the connection with God. So if you're listening to this and you're really lonely and you're really hurting, and maybe a bunch of things that happened to you aren't your fault, whatever that it is, reframe it in your mind too. It's good. I went through it and it was good for me, because it taught me a lot of things. And this absolute loneliness and pain that I feel is what Jesus felt without me, which is why he died on the cross, so that he could be eternally connected with me, with you, and so that you and I would never have to worry about salvation ever again. And what the message showed us was that he saved us and died on the cross, not just to save our souls, but to redeem us back to himself, so that he could marry us, to get closer with us. And he gave us his tapes and his word. And you say, well, why would you make videos for your future kids and wife? Why would Jesus write a Bible for his wife before she even meets him? So I would encourage you, this is my idea, make videos for your future spouse and children. Some specifically for your children, some specifically for your wife or husband, whoever they may be, before you even meet them. Because I haven't met them yet. And the loneliness is incredible. But I'm thankful that for all of it. Because if I thought, would I have this any other way? Where there's like this big gossip thing of saying negative about me or whatever that it is. Would I have it any other way, this challenging landscape of everything? I wouldn't have it any other way. Because the difficulty now just proves to me that the joy that I will feel later on is going to be so much more incredible. And so that I can be thankful both for the hard times and for the good times. I love you. I hope this has helped.